Let's look at the ninth plague in the land of Egypt that has to do with darkness over the land. Hear the narrative. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward the sky, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even a darkness which may be felt." So Moses stretched out his hand toward the sky, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. They did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from his place for 3 days. But all the sons of Israel had light in their dwellings. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and said, "Go serve the Lord. Only let your flocks and your herds be detained. Even your little ones may go with you." But Moses said, "You must also let us have sacrifices and burnt offerings, that we may sacrifice them to the Lord our God." The plague of darkness is an interesting one. Permit me to let you know that in Egyptian mythology, the primary god of darkness and chaos is called Apophis, also known as Apep. He is depicted as a giant serpent who embodies disorder and opposes the sun god Ra. Apophis constantly tries to disrupt the order of the cosmos and prevent the sun from rising, representing the forces of darkness and evil. There are other deities that are associated with darkness or aspects of darkness. It's called Kek and Koket. These deities, part of the Ogdod cosmogony, represents the primordial darkness and obscurity. Kek is depicted as a frog-headed man, while Koket is a snake-headed woman. Then another god is Set. While not solely a god of darkness, Set embodies chaos, storms, and desert region, and is often associated with evil and conflict. He is also depicted with an unknown animal head. I want to say that this development here is quite interesting. Darkness that no one could even see his fellow human being. But one interesting thing is that as this darkness filled the land of Egypt, right there in the land of Goshen, where the children of light were, there was light everywhere. Do you know that in my own country, there has been pain in the land? Even the politicians are even finding the heat or feeling the heat of the bad economy in the land. But all the children of God, they are having daily provision from heaven as God is causing them to prosper in a time like this. That is why I encourage everyone to get him or herself aligned with the God of light, the creator of the universe, who happens to be the God that is doing all these things we are mentioning here in the land of Egypt. When he's with you, your case would always be different. There are people who are suffering in this hard economic experience in Africa today, but those who know their God are doing exploits. There are people who are building houses not from a corrupt system, but as a result of divine blessing at a time like this. And if you are really aligned with that God of light, light will shine even in the midst of darkness in the land. I want us to know that this God who brought this judgment upon the land of Egypt is still the God of today, and he is warning as many as that are bringing problem in the land to quit doing that, because our nation belongs to God. Our continent belongs to God. Look at the condition Pharaoh was giving to Moses, that you can go, but not with all the things you have. It is an error to give condition when God gives instruction. God is not African judiciary system. God is not African courts. God is not African Supreme Courts that would issue an instruction to government and government will say no to it. God is not like that. When he issues an instruction or a command, if you disobey it, you go in for it. The reason is because he's God of justice. He doesn't spare anyone who violates his instruction. I want to say this and keep repeating it. If you are oppressing anyone, that is to say you are an instrument of oppression, putting tears on the eyes of someone somewhere, God's anger is coming straight upon your life. Do everything to refrain from causing someone to cry. This song that is popular today, as they pain them, they sweet us, is demon-centric. How can you be happy when somebody is feeling pain and you just take it for granted because you are enjoying power? As they sweet us, they pain them. What is that thing that is sweeting you? Lest you start using grammar that is not found in dictionary. Sweeting. What is that thing that is sweeting you and is paining somebody out there? What do you benefit in seeing somebody being in pain? What do you benefit in seeing somebody crying when you are laughing? That is democentric attitude. That is luciferic attitude. That is satanic attitude. Why should you be happy when somebody is crying? Jesus, I know, when God came in the form of man, in the person of Jesus, would always identify with those that are in pain. That is why he healed many diseases. He was moving around, healing those that are oppressed. Saving those that are oppressed and healing those that are sick. But you are telling us, as he did pain them, he did sweet us. The God of justice will rise for the oppressed. If anyone is under you, be very careful to put smile on the face of that person, or else God of the oppressed will stand up for the oppressed, and the oppressor will not go scot-free. Let this be a warning to those that are concerned. I remain Pastor Elisha, the rising voice in Africa and the reformer with the